My name is Pınar Cinali from BI Works in Istanbul. I'm not sure. You can hear me well, right? Yeah, okay. So, I'm a bit excited to be here. It's my first time in Minsk, so I'm happy to be here. I'm going to talk about business analysts are on the go topic, design with users, not for users. I think that the users are so important nowadays, and it's our major concern. So I would like to give some new perspectives to you in my presentation. Let me just introduce myself, a bit more details. As I said, I'm coming from Istanbul. I'm associate partner in charge of business analysis domain of my company, delivering business analysis consulting services, IIBA business analysis training, and I'm leading user experience projects and managing more than 70 people in my organization. We have lots of business analysts are working in different companies in Turkey, in Istanbul. So I would like to talk about a concept which is designing with users, not for them today. I have a lot to say about business analysis, but I have just 40 minutes to share something with you. First, I would like to start with traditional and new ways of business analysis. So everything is changing, so we need to change how we are doing business analysis in nowadays. And then I would like to draw your attention to challenges we are facing while we are doing our job. And then I will end with new techniques for business analysts while working in traditional way. Let's start with the first part. New and traditional. So, this is antique, right? We like antique things. We have some emotions, we have some memorize with them. But, however, we need to change them when the day comes. So, in the changing world, actually, everything is changing, technology is evolving, and systems are getting more complex. Businesses need to be innovative to remain competitive in this challenging world. As business analysts, in order to adapt to this change, so we need to change how we are working. We need to focus on value, to delivering value, and we need to be innovative while doing our jobs. So it is our most important concern. It should be our concern while we are doing our jobs. So, according to the IIBA, let's start define what is traditional business analysis. In version 2, according to the body of knowledge in version 2, it has been defined as the set of tasks and techniques. In practice, business analysis is about gathering the requirements from stakeholders in a meeting room, maybe, in somewhere with the business representatives, and then modeling them, documenting the requirements, and recommending the solutions for the requirements, for the needs, and then scoping the system requirements. All these activities are defined as traditional way of doing our jobs. According to the new body of knowledge, when we look at the version 3, business analysis has been defined as it is the practice of enabling change in an organizational context by defining needs and recommending solutions to deliver value to stakeholders. So, when we think about this definition, actually there are 6 core concepts in this sentence. Change, context, needs, solutions, value, and stakeholders. All these core concepts are so important for us. And we cannot create solutions without thinking the context. We cannot create value without considering the stakeholders, right? Stakeholders. So when we need to do our jobs, we should think all of the concepts, and each concept is defined by other 5. So it is really important to think about all the concepts are together. According to the body of knowledge, it has been defined as requirements elicitation. It's a very important activity for business analysts to elicit the requirements, right? It has not been defined as requirements gathering. Gathering means the collection of the obvious requirements. But elicitation has more meaningful, just collecting the obvious. Actually, it's about asking the right questions. It's about uncovering the things which stakeholders don't tell us. In new world, elicitation is really important. It is really an active job for us to ask these questions, to observe the users. We cannot just ask questions to the business representatives in the meetings. We need to go to the stage, we need to go to the users and try to observe them while they are building something, while they are doing their jobs. So it's about seeing the whole picture, seeing the big picture. It's about determining what is valuable. It's about determining what is doable, actually. So our business analysis tasks are a bit changing nowadays, and we need to adapt to this new challenging world. When we think of traditional business analysis, it is just like us sitting in a meeting room to gather the requirements, and it is just preparing the old-style requirements documentations. But it's more than this. When we think about new age business analysis, it's about creating some new techniques, using some new techniques such as persona, such as prototypes, such as creating wireframes, such as mind mapping tools. So, yes, it's really new things for us, but we have some challenges when we think about these new techniques, right? Can you easily apply? Can you easily go to the users, near to users, and trying to get what they need? We have some challenges, and I would like to take draw your attention to these challenges. Just look at, please, these items. The first one is unclear requirements. So requirements are unclear. Users, our stakeholders don't tell us what they need, what they exactly required. And there is problem and solution space. Business stakeholders, normally when we ask them what they need, they say their problems. They say their solutions for the problem. Actually, they don't exactly tell their problems to us. So this is another challenge for business analysis. And then new magic quadrant. We have another parameter, innovation, in this new magic quadrant. And we need to connect the dots. There are lots of dots to connect while trying to understand the real need. And then we see that lots of products fail. It's another concern of us. And we don't know who the users is. Last but not least, designing with user. It is not possible, right? We design for users, but not we design with users. We cannot involve them to the stage. So all these challenges we need to care about, we need to think about to solve. Let's look at them one by one. The first challenge is unclear requirements. So according to the PMI's Pulse of Profession report, primary causes the project failure is inaccurate requirements. This is really huge percentage, right? When we look at the reports, we see that all project stakeholders are saying us that their major problem in the projects is inaccurate requirements. And when we try to get the requirements, we see this picture. Stakeholders tell their requirements such in this picture. What do you think when you see this picture? What is in it, this picture? It's a chaotic, right? Yeah. When we ask them what you need, yeah, they're telling us the picture, they're telling us the requirements like this. So for business analysts, this is our challenge, trying to get what they need, making this picture is clearer. This is painted by Pablo Picasso. When he did a painting, who would paint abstract shapes and figures. And yeah, when I ask you, maybe some of you say that there is a table in the middle, right? There is a dog, maybe in the corner. Any other idea? What do you see? Both? Yeah? There is a man in the back, right? Now you are thinking differently. You are seeing different things in this picture. So in the meetings, in illustration meetings, when we see the picture such as this picture, we need to ask the right question. Maybe it is not enough to just asking the question. We need to go to the users and observe what they are doing, what they are feeling, how they are feeling. So this is really important to make this picture like this one while asking the right questions. Since this is really a most important challenge for us, requirements comes in an unclear way. And this visual, it is actually a good visual. When we look at here, there is no knowns, right? Just look at the picture and try to understand. Okay. As business analysts, if there are knowns, I mean the requirements, the users knows their requirements, and if we know these known requirements, this is the happy area, right? We are happy since we know the requirements. And then there are another area here. There are some unknowns things, and we are aware of, but we don't understand it very well. So these requirements, for these requirements, we need more analysis to understand it, to make this known. In this area, the third one, actually it is really important, and this makes projects failure, I guess. Unknown requirements. We don't know, there are some requirements, but we don't know them. Things we understand, but we are not aware of. So we should be aware of. We should make these requirements clearer. So this requires more illustration. And then the last one, when we look at the third area, this is the innovation part actually. Nobody knows what they need, right? Customers, actually, they don't need what they want. There are unknown unknowns. And this requires deep research, and conducting some studies, some observation studies to understand what the user needs are. So when you just ask the questions to your customers, maybe your business stakeholder in a meeting, they cannot give the right answers to you. Most of the time they are not just requirements, they are just solutions. There are two important keywords, problem and the solution. This is our second challenge. When we look at the problem area, it's about the reason of something. And then we need to, as business analysts, we need to find a solution, to create solution to solve this problem, right? But when we ask the users what they need, they just say their solution. I want an application, I want something, but this is not just the problem, this is just a solution. We need to focus on, firstly, we need to focus on the problem, and we need to ask the questions to understand what the problem is. When we look at this sample, actually NASA asked astronauts what they needed. They said, I need a pen that works in zero gravity. And NASA then spent $1 million to create a space pen which works in zero gravity. And then Russian astronauts, Russian scientists asked their astronauts what they needed, and they suggest an offer a different solution, just a regular pencil. Right? What is the problem here? When you ask your customer what you need, they say a pen that works in zero gravity. This is not a problem, this is just a solution. Your problem is just writing in the space, right? Writing in the zero gravity. But we don't get this sentence from our users. We just get these ones, and we should say that, okay, stop. What is your real problem? And then it is our responsibility as a solution team to create a solution. Maybe it's a regular pencil, it's a really pen that works in zero gravity. But sometimes we don't need to spend lots of money to solve a problem if we understand the problem right. So another example is Henry Ford. He said, if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. Faster horses is again what? Solution, right? What is the problem here?
Moving fast.
Yes, moving fast. They need to move fast. But when you ask your customers, yeah, they are getting faster horses. They are saying us all the time the solution. So what Henry Ford did is, car. It's a solution. Car is a solution here. So it doesn't mean that don't ask users what they need. I don't want to say this one. It is really important to ask users what they needed. But when you hear something from your user, you just need to ask deeper questions to understand what is the problem is. So asking the questions to users actually helps you to gain some insights, which makes you think about great solutions, maybe some innovative solutions. Innovation is another concern and another challenge for us, right? We are developing solutions, and then business wants us to innovate. When we do something, they ask, this is a regular solution. We should innovate, we should be innovative, we create different things. So this is another challenge for business analysts while creating solutions to be innovative. When we look at this quadrant, actually this is, I say it, new magic quadrant. As you know, quality, budget, and time are the concerns of project management, right? We consider the budget, we consider time and quality. And nowadays, another parameter is included in this quadrant. and make this triangle, project management triangle, to a quadrant. It is innovation. What do you think about innovation? It's really hard for companies to make the people think differently, thinking out of the box. It is another challenge for us. In order to think differently, we need some other perspectives. We need to connect the dots. I mean, this is another challenge, the next challenge of us, connecting the dots. There are many dots which we need to connect. We need to connect the ideas with different ideas to create new and unusual concepts. We need to connect business with customers to gain insights, and we need to connect products with services for comprehensive customer experiences. And we need to connect customers with customers to build richer communities. It is really about making invisible connections visible. And this is really another important concern, connecting the dots. So when we think about the dots, technology is another dots, I think. Technology is evolving, and we need to include technology solutions while we are developing. But it is not important when we think about technology alone. We need to connect people, value, experience, technology, context. We need to make the connections between them by thinking with the left and right side of the brain. So this is really another difficult thing, thinking from right side of the brain. Left side of the brain is about analytic and some logic, 0-1. In order to innovate, in order to thinking outside of the box, we need to think from right side of the brain. So we need to make the correlations, we need to make invisible connections, we need to make them clearer. So it is really important to think all those keywords all together. And the context is important. What do you see in this picture?
Mona Lisa.
Yeah, Mona Lisa. But everyone can see the Mona Lisa at the first time. You are seeing the Renaissance here, right? Maybe you are not aware of, but there is a Renaissance. It's about the context. Context about the culture, maybe surroundings, maybe organization, maybe products, maybe session, maybe terminology, maybe technology. I'm giving the Renaissance here, and you are saying that it's Mona Lisa. Actually, it has been created with lots of dots, when you see. If we give more other context, the famous portrait and Leonardo da Vinci, I think that now it's more clearer and you can connect the dots easily now. So, it's not possible by looking more closely. It may be possible to look, connect all the dots by seeing more. And another person is Leonardo da Vinci. He was good at making the connections, making the invisible connections. He was a system thinker and make all connections to see the bigger picture in his arts or in his studies. And he said, learn how to see. It is really important for business analysts to see. We are just looking. We need to learn how to see the things, how to see the connections. And other person is Steve Jobs, and he said you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So what does it mean? You can connect the dots by looking for the past, by understanding why something did happen, by understanding the patterns, the connections to cause and effects. So it is really important for these people making these connections together and trying to understand the context and trying to find the right solutions which nobody can see or which nobody can tell you, I need this one. Before Apple created smartphone, who can tell I want a smartphone? Or who can tell a clever product now before we don't have it? So our users is not so maybe clever, yeah. Maybe it's just a dummy user. They cannot tell us what they need. We need to observe them. We need to understand what they needed, and we need to find out new solutions, new connections by considering. And the other challenge is product failure. Why is it so hard to build lovable products, right? We are making efforts by building the products, but when we make it live, most of the products we see that, yeah, they fail. What can we do? It is really important. Customers are really important, and they are now in the driving seat, right? We need to understand their priorities. We need to understand their pain points by asking them, by reaching them. Without customer, car is just a vehicle, right? We need the customer to drive this car. So when we look at the products, it's not about what you develop. It's about how you design the experience of using this product. User experience is another hot topic nowadays. So as business analysts, we should understand the concepts of user experience. So it matters because UX improves, according to some research, UX improves conversions and customer satisfactions by 83%. And 88% of users will not return after a negative experience if you deliver them. So in order to design lovable products, we should apply user-centered design. So when we think about user-centered designs, our another challenge is understand who are the users, who the users are. So users are unknown. Our main problem is we spend a lot of time to design the bridge, but not enough time to think about the people who are crossing it. So what I want to say is here that if you don't know your user, it doesn't make sense to build, create available products. You will not be able to deliver a great solution if you don't know your user. So for user-centered design approach, you need to first define your users. And the other challenge is designing with users, not for users. What I mean is we are organizing some workshops, some meetings with our stakeholders. Our stakeholders means that business representatives, right? You are invite them to the meetings and you ask questions to directly business representatives, not directly to the user. This is another important thing. Sometimes, and most of the time, business representatives does not tell the truth to us. Since they don't know what is the pain point of the user. They just tell us their desires about the product, and they just tell their business priorities. So it is really important to invite end users to these meetings. Co-creation is a technique you can apply in order to involve all these different stakeholders, make them together and share their different perspectives, different ideas. You can use co-creation sessions. For co-creation sessions, actually the right participant is the key. So you need to involve the right participants to your sessions. You should think about your target customers. There is a technique which is called as persona. Persona technique makes you clear who are your users, what are their preferences. You can divide them as a groups like demographics and behavior. For their behaviors, you can separate them as a group, and you can call a persona, you can give a name for your persona, and you need to just look at your persona and you need to understand which persona is important for you. You can't design for every people, you can't make every people happy. So for your products, you need to decide which persona is important for you, and you need to involve them to these co-creation sessions. Maybe some representatives of these users, but you need to ask your questions, your direct questions to them, and try to understand what their needs, what their pain points, what their desires, aspirations. So it is really important to invite the users into your meetings. When we think of user-centered design, user-centered business analyst is becoming more important. So we need to shift our thinking of business analysis. User-centered business analysts focus on the user need, not just on the business need. This is really important thing. When we look at these challenges, in order to overcome all these challenges, we need to forget about the traditional way of business analysis. So it's really important to be open to your stakeholders, to understand your users, invite them to co-creation sessions. Maybe you can use some other new techniques. You need to find out the techniques which can help you to create valuable products. So I divided this part to 3 parts actually. First one is observation. This is really important. We should start with observation. You can use many techniques in order to do observation. Persona, job shadowing, interviews, empathy mapping, focus groups, and stakeholder mapping. These are the new techniques you can use in your sessions. And then you need to reflect what you hear from the user. It's not just enough to listen to user. You need to reflect them, what they say by using user stories, maybe mind mapping techniques, maybe affinity diagrams. You can use all these new techniques with post-its, with colorful things. You can include this to your meetings. And customer journey mapping is another good technique to see all the journey of your customers, all the touch points and all the pain points of your customers in a map, in just one map. It's a visualizing technique. And then the other part is make it live. What I mean, you can make a prototype for your solution, and you can use this prototype. You can go to your customers and ask them, give them some tasks, and help them to try to use your solution. And you can, in this way, you can understand what is the weak sides of your solution. Is that really help your customers? Customers will like your solution. This is the only way to understand before making it live, before making it a working product. During the design process, you can create your some minimum viable product. You can prototype it, and you can ask your users with usability testing. During your new techniques, while using these new techniques, insight research is important. Sometimes it's mixed with market research. Market research means you need to reach out many people, but insight research is easier than market research. You don't need to reach out many people. A few people will be enough to gain insights, and these insights will help you so much while developing your product. And another technique is contextual inquiry. You need to spend a few hours watching how your users do their job, and you need to understand their feeling in their context. This is another important thing. Not you don't ask people, don't invite them to the meeting rooms. You need to go to them, see them in their surroundings, in their context. This is really important for this technique, contextual inquiry technique. And empathy mapping is another technique. This helps you walk in your customer's shoes. You need to try to feel like them, understand what they say, something, but do something else. Why they do like that? What is the real cause of what is the real problem? You need to think like them. Sometimes you hear what they need, but you see that, okay, our customer said like this, but yeah, he's making the job, making his role totally different. Since there are other concerns for him, we need to have empathy with our users, and this is a good technique for doing this. And this is a sample of General Electric. They turn medical scans into adventures by having empathy and doing research with parents and children. So it is really hard to make the children go inside in these MR machines, right? Even if we don't like, right? It is really impossible for children to keep them motionless. But GE observed them and have empathy and developed a solution like this. Create an adventure for children and entertain them and give them a purpose, a mission to complete. So that, yeah, in this sample, the children makes this very happy. They use this MR machine and they are trying to complete a mission. So it's really important. And the other technique is journey maps. It's a customer journey mapping. It's another name. You can show the whole customer experiences. You need to define the touch points. And in every touch points, you need to ask your customers what are their pain points and what are their desires. So you can gather all this information and put on this journey maps. So it makes everyone in the same page. It's a visualizing technique. And the other ones, prototyping and usability testing, and I actually mentioned about them. You don't need to have user experience designers in your company. This is a new role. Yeah, it will be perfect if you have, but in most companies we don't have user experience designers. So it is really important to apply these techniques. And if we have tester hat, right? As business analysts, we have lots of hats: project management, business analysis, and the test engineering hat. So if we have these roles, if we need to do, if we are responsible of doing testing, this is the test we need to consider and apply. Before making our product on the live environment, we need to add a break and we need to organize usability testing with a few users. You don't need to go to many users, just go 5 users for each persona and try to get insights, try to understand is there any problem with your solution or not. So these are the techniques for business analysts we need to consider and we need to apply. To sum up, due to the challenge we are facing in traditional way, actually we need to think about the new ways of doing our jobs. And it is really time to involve the user in design process and acting as a user-centered business analysts. And don't forget, design with users, not just for them. Thank you for listening to me. It's really important for me. I'm a bit excited. Yeah, time is up and I don't have time. I'm sorry for questions, but I will be around here. If you have any questions, I will be very happy to meet with you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.